Good evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Thursday, February the 15th, 2024. I am Gerald Bryan. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. More teachers now back in school but children not showing up, VP. Convicted rapist escapes from MAZARUNI prison. Fire destroys BERBICE hotel on Valentine's Day. Capsized TORANI vessel being removed from MAZARUNI river. And investments in charity housing scheme translate into individual growth of residents, Rodrigues. Now for the news in detail. Even as the Guyana Teachers Union threatens to prolong its 2-week strike, more teachers are returning to the classrooms, but according to Vice President Dr. Barry Jagdeo, the challenge now is that children are not showing up. Here is Vanu Manikchan with the details in our lead story tonight.
The 2-week strike action is slated to end on Friday, but President of the Guyana Teachers Union has indicated that it could go on for much longer. Despite this, however, more teachers are returning to the classroom, according to Vice President Dr. Barry Jagdeo.
We have seen a significant number of teachers going back to schools. So I've seen the stats from some regions where 85% of the teachers are back in the classroom. Remember, you've had, in the past, you only had 70% turnout. But say 85% of the 70% turnout are back in the classroom.
However, he said that there are a few cases whereby head teachers are closing the schools, but Jagdeo warned that this could attract disciplinary actions. But even as teachers return to work, Jagdeo said some of the children are not showing up.
The teachers are there now, and when I look at 10% of the children are only have returned to school. So we need to urge this to happen, and we need the same consideration to be given by the teachers to the children.
Nevertheless, Jagdeo noted that in the event that the strike continues beyond the 2 weeks, then government would have to explore ways to ensure that learning is not further disrupted.
If this is prolonged, we may have to explore online methods. In the whole period in COVID, almost a year and a half, most of the teachers did not work. And we had to find different means of getting tuition to the children. The ministry has been focusing on a lot of this online we've started focusing on a lot of that education, preparing the material, etc. So I think in the future we have to explore this. And if this persists for a long time, we may have to find alternate ways of making sure our children are educated.
Meanwhile, Jagdeo has also contended that, based on the rule book of the Guyana Teachers Union, Coretta MacDonald's position as General Secretary could be a violation. Here is Vanu Manikchan again with the details.
According to the GTU Rule Book, teachers who serve as members of Parliament can only be appointed as an associate member of the union and as such cannot hold top posts such as President and General Secretary. Coretta MacDonald, who has been the GTU's General Secretary for over a decade, became an opposition parliamentarian in 2020. This, according to Vice President Dr. Barry Jagdeo, is in violation of the union's own rules.
Teachers who leave the classroom to serve as members of Parliament, such membership to expire at the end of the individual's term of office as a member of Parliament. So teachers who leave the classroom to serve as MPs fall under associate membership. Now, MacDonald is paid as a teacher. She herself said publicly, but in B, or point 2 under associate membership, it says, associate members shall have the right to vote, but shall not be eligible to hold the office of President or General Secretary. Coretta MacDonald has been the General Secretary, I think, from 2006. But I think these rules prohibit you from, if you're their own rules, and this is under case law, this is the contractual obligation with membership. This is what they submitted, their own rules. They're saying that if you're a member of Parliament, you should not basically be the General Secretary of the union.
McDonnell, who is currently leading the countrywide teachers' strike organized by the GTU, has already come under scrutiny after claiming she is only being paid as a teacher and not as an MP, something which the Parliament office has debunked, saying all MPs are paid monthly salaries. Moreover, the credibility of the GTU has also come into question after it was disclosed last week that the union has not filed annual returns since 2005, nor submitted financial statements to be audited since 1989. While government could go after the union on these grounds of illegality, the vice president said they have no plans to do so.
Purely legally, we should act, and the conclusion of this will be the derecognition of the union. But I don't think it's a wise thing to do at this stage. And it will, they would just use it propaganda-wise, like how they use everything. They put everything to race, so we hate this union, and all of that stuff. So I believe that we have to go in forward, take firmer steps against the union, but also that the membership of the union have a responsibility to hold the leadership to account.
According to Jagdeo, the GTU Rule Book contains a series of benefits for teachers that are not being provided.
The teachers themselves can ask more questions, because under the rules you will see that they're supposed to get benefit. A number of benefits are listed there for teachers. For example, if they have a debt in their family, if they need some assistance, some money, etc. The union from the Jews should really be assisting them. So really, the Jews are really not to fat foul, to use a word, the union executives. But the Jews are there to accumulate so you can provide strike relief in the future if you have to take industrial action, and to assist your members in times of need. So the teachers have to hold the union more accountable.
Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manakchand.
The Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GCCI, continues to have close engagements with the Guyana Power and Light, GPL, and remains willing to work with the company to ensure upgrades to the grid in preparation for the gas to energy are done in an effective manner. Here are the details. During a press conference on Wednesday, the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GCCI, advocated for the gas to energy project. While much focus was placed on the economic benefits of the project, the ability to integrate that gas with the existing Guyana Power and Light GPL grid is vital. According to GCCI President Kester Hudson, the Chamber has been having consultations with GPL in an effort to be kept updated on the project's progress. He noted that the Chamber remains committed to continuing its interactions with GPL to ensure works continue to specifications and citizens get value for money.
So, in our last engagement with the Minister of Public Works and his team, we recognize that the current infrastructure is inefficient and insufficient, right? So that whole network that was recently done has to be redone to cater for the increased megawatts of power, right? Yes, certainly the chamber will work with them, as we would have done in previous instances, to ensure that they're compliant, ensure that what is required from the private sector and citizens is being done with quality service. So we continue to engage those officials to ensure that they meet the requirements that is required.
During the session, former GCCI President Nicholas Boyle pointed out that the government is currently subsidizing GPL's cost of electricity. And judging from the cost of heavy fuel oil being used by GPL to generate energy, consumers would have borne greater costs without this subsidy. Back in 2022, Exxon's gas-to-shore manager Frederick Crispin had said that upgrades to the GPL grid should be completed by 2024. These upgrades are necessary for energy from the gas-to-shore project to be integrated into the Demerara-Berbice Interconnected System (DBIS). Jarrell Bryan, The Evening News. A three-story hotel situated on Chapel Street, New Amsterdam, Berbice was yesterday afternoon destroyed by a fire of unknown origin. The ground floor of the building housed a club and lounge, while the other floors contained rooms. The cause of the fire is not yet known. Losses are estimated in the millions. However, fortunately, there have been no reported injuries or casualties as a result of the incident. The property is owned by Errol Azor, a 60-year-old Guyanese who currently resides in the United States of America. Azor is a past president of the Berbice Chamber of Commerce. Akeem Wong, a convict serving a 15-year sentence for rape, today escaped from the MAZARUNI prison, considered Guyana's maximum security penitentiary. The escape occurred at around 7:20 hours. At the time, Wong and another inmate, Gilbert Gill, were laboring in the custody of a prison officer. However, Wong requested to use the washroom and permission was granted by the prison officer. But about 5 minutes later, the officer decided to check on Wong and discovered him missing. An alarm was raised and it was discovered that the prisoner had escaped the facility. A search is currently underway. Meanwhile, this is not the first time that inmates have escaped from the MAZARUNI prison, which is largely surrounded by a river. Last year, Mark Royden Williams, who had been on death row for the 2008 Bartica massacre and had been convicted of murdering a soldier, had escaped from the MAZARUNI prison. The fugitive was eventually shot dead by law enforcement officials about a month after his escape. Moreover, 4 prison officers have been charged for helping the convicted killer escape from the facility. Coming up, President Ali, Finance Minister, meet with IMF Deputy Managing Director, and Gaisuku launches mechanized planting of sugarcane at Albion Estate.
Entrepreneurs, coconut byproducts are in high demand. How can you cater to that demand? By investing in a coconut shredder from Sylvie's. Guaranteed to increase your output, this 110-volt stainless steel machine shreds coconut in seconds, allowing you to also save on labor and time. From the shreds, you can create coconut powder, oil, milk, etc. Order yours now at sylviesonline.com or at our 31 High and Hatfield Street store.
Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe. For bid, performance, retention, advanced mobilization or customs bonds, bond with us. Fuel your success. Call 223-0840 or visit premierinsurance.gy. Premier Insurance. Premier insurance coverage.
Come celebrate 1770 with us. It's our 17th anniversary and we are celebrating with up to 40% discount on handsets. Get the Samsung A05 for just $16,000 or go for the Samsung A15 for just $29,000 or the Samsung A245 for just $35,000. But wait, there's more. You also get 1 month free data plan with any handset purchase. Limited time offer. Hurry to a Digicel store today. 17 years of bringing you the best. 1770 with us.
You can now call the Bureau of Statistics toll-free on 624-0962 or 624-0963 to verify that you were counted in the 2022 National Population and Housing Census. Our operational hours are from Monday to Friday between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. and Saturday to Sunday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Have a say in how your community and country develops by ensuring that you are counted. Remember, Our toll-free numbers are 624-0962 and 624-0963. Visit the Bureau of Statistics website at www.statisticsguyana.gov.gy for a full list of other numbers being used by our representatives.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. In a move aimed at improving navigational safety along the local waterways, efforts are being made to remove wreckages from the various rivers across the country. With 7 wreckages already removed, works are ongoing to get rid of an 8th one, the TORANI, which capsized in the MAZARUNI River. Once a vital transport link across the Essequibo and Berbice rivers, the TORANI, a relic from the 1960s era, had in 2012 encountered structural challenges that rendered it unfit for service. Since its decommissioning in December 2018, the TORANI has lain partially submerged in the MAZARUNI River near the Transport and Harbors Department dry dock facility. Identified as a hazard to navigation, the government has prioritized its removal, aligning with broader environmental sustainability goals aimed at safeguarding our waterways. Cool BV, a reputable Dutch company specialized in industrial and maritime services, contracted by the Maritime Administration Department, MARAD, has been tasked with the removal of 17 sunken vessels. Progress has been steady, with 7 vessels already successfully extracted. The extraction of the 8th vessel, the TORANI, should be completed within 5 weeks. At the award of the $1.38 billion contract just over a year ago, the Minister of Public Works, Juan Edgil, had emphasized the urgency of efficiently removing wrecks, noting that as Guyana's maritime activities continue to evolve, ensuring safe passage for ships and boats becomes of paramount importance. Trishelle Sobers joins us now to report that a total of 550 persons residing in Capi Village, Region 2, Pomeroon, Supernam, will now have improved access to potable water following the commissioning of an $11 million water supply system there. The water system, which is about 42 meters deep, was drilled by Guyana Water Incorporated GWI newly acquired 421T Pat rig. Here is more.
The scope of the $11 million project includes the drilling of a new well, supply and installation of a distribution network, standpipes, installation of a solar panel and submersible pump, and the construction of a reinforced concrete base to support 4 1,000-gallon tough tanks. During the commissioning ceremony earlier this week, Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water Susan Rodrigues disclosed that the new water system is supplying 96% of the village with treated water and is expected to serve the community for 100 years.
All of the water that we distribute through the Guyana Water Inc. is safe for consumption. It is WHO tested, and we do testing periodically. When you hear us talking about transformation and bridging the gap between the coastland and hinterland, that's what we're talking about. Reducing inequality so that all of our citizens, regardless of your race, your religion, your geographical location, that you have access to services and you have access to infrastructure that will improve your lives.
Further, Minister Rodrigues highlighted the employment opportunities the project generated for local residents and emphasized the need for community responsibility in maintaining the facility. On this point, she disclosed the GWI plans to train 2 community service officers to assist with the upkeep of the new water supply system.
This is infrastructure. This well that we drilled in this community that is now supplying 96% of this community with potable water. That is infrastructure spending. These young people have been doing a remarkable job, and I'm very, very proud of the team, the young team from GWI. I'm proud of their motivation, and I'm proud of the progress that they've been making.
Since assuming office in August 2020, the People's Progressive Party civic government has drilled 75 wells, taking potable water supply in the hinterland from 46% to 86% by the end of 2023. Through the 2024 budget, another 40 wells will be drilled in Amerindian communities, as the PPC government aims to achieve 100% access for the hinterland by 2025. Communities in Region 2 set to benefit from enhanced water supply include Friendship, St. Monica, Dredge Creek, Bethany, and Wakapau, among others. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
Persons residing in the new charity housing scheme in Region 2, Pomeroon Supernam, have been able to improve their livelihoods in various ways as a result of direct investments made by the government. This is according to Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodrigues, who visited the community earlier in the week and interacted with residents in the area. Trishelle Sobers joins us again with this report.
Prior to 2022, the charity housing scheme was a squatting area. However, upon assuming office in August 2020, President Dr. Irfan Ali committed to regularizing the area. As a result, over 120 families were provided with the certificate of title for their homes in 2022, and in 2023, $200 million worth of contracts were awarded through the Ministry of Housing and Water for the construction of roads, walkways, and bridges in the community. Today, the housing scheme is flooded with small businesses and entrepreneurs who have capitalized on the substantial improvements spearheaded by the People's Progressive Party civic government and executed by the Housing Ministry and agencies under its leadership. Following a recent visit to the area, Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodrigues, disclosed that one individual reported that she was able to secure a loan to renovate her property and construct a small grocery shop at her home.
We want the infrastructure spending to translate into personal development. And I believe that what I've seen here today is really an expression of that. So just by doing some roads in this area, upgrading the infrastructure, we were able to transform individual lives. That is the type of progress and transformation that we want for every single Guyanese. And that is the type of progress that is taking place across all of the communities.
The minister said government is pleased with this report, given that its investments are geared towards improving families and livelihoods. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
President Dr. Irfan Ali and Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance and the public service, Dr. Ashni Singh, have met with the International Monetary Fund's IMF Deputy Managing Director, Kenji Okamura. Find out more in this Rupa Sinaran report.
According to the Finance Ministry, the IMF team is currently on a high-level two-day visit to Guyana, where they met with President Dr. Irfan Ali and other government officials, as well as visit a number of developmental projects around the country. During Wednesday's meeting, Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh also provided an overview of economic developments over the years and prospects looking ahead, as well as government's policies and programs to enhance the lives of the country's citizens. He outlined risks during the current period of its stewardship of the country's finances to improve all sectors of the economy. Later, Prime Minister Brigadier Mark Phillips hosted a dinner on Wednesday evening in honor of the visiting delegation. The Prime Minister and his high-level team provided an overview of Guyana's information and communications technology, energy, and public infrastructure sectors. In its December 2023 Article 4 consultation report, the IMF commended the government of Guyana for economic management, including the implementation of policies and initiatives geared at transforming Guyana's economy. The findings were published following an official IMF mission visit to Guyana in September of that year. The IMF in its findings had highlighted that Guyana's real GDP is expected to continue to grow rapidly, adding that Guyana achieved the highest real GDP growth in the world in 2022 at 62.3%. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
The Guyana Sugar Corporation, Gaisuco, on Tuesday commenced mechanized planting of sugarcanes on fields owned by the Albion Estate. And as we hear in this report, the corporation is hoping that this would up production. Luanda McAllister tells us more.
The Guyana Sugar Corporation is modernizing its planting operations by moving away from manual planting and moving towards mechanization. As it launched its mechanized planting system on Tuesday at the Albion Estate, however, the corporation assured that this does not mean laborers will become redundant. In fact, the sugar company says the new planting system will complement what the planters have been doing. Traditionally, those planters use their hands to insert the nursery canes into sections of narrow Dutch beds about 10 to 15 meters in width. But the new process will see machines planting the canes, thus reducing the estate's operating costs. Already, several acres of land that had vegetation were converted and are expected to be utilized for the development. The contract to execute the work was awarded to a private company, Chaparts. Head of the Agriculture Research Center, Ravindra Prasad, while detailing the new system, said the machines will facilitate the planting over a cane over a 12-hour period.
If you look at the mode of planting that we have three modes of planting. We have the manual, where men actually take the cane and stick it into the ground. Now, you'll take 13 man days to plant a hectare. But we have the semi-mech planting, where you have the trailers would actually drive along and men laying canes into the furrow. You can do 2 fields a day. That's about 10 hectares. But this machine that we just saw that went on there, if that can do 20 hectares in a 12-hour shift, therefore we're planting more. Now, there is no need for the labor to feel scared of this machine, because we have need for each and every labor in this industry. It's just our process of enhancing the planting operation and ensure we have more canes going to the factory.
Albion Estate Manager Yudhishthira Mana said he's excited to be a part of the development, noting that the 2,000 acres of land will be converted to materialize the mechanized planting.
Traditionally, doing the work, and we have the 60% turnout we have in. So having an exercise like this, it will definitely guarantee us a 20% replanting annually, and more than that, ensure we have what we're doing here basically is not to replace any worker. It is to complement the working group that we have, because with 60% turnout you have, the 40% will definitely come from here. More than that, we can see ourselves with a 20% replanting program, which is the desire of Guy Suku. And importantly to note that having this into place, we can have a wall of cane, because this mechanized planting is a guarantee process where we can safely say that our replanting program will be completed. All fields will be into production now as opposed to before.
According to the Albion Estate Manager, the mechanized planting paves the way for increased production at the estate. He further stated that by 2026, the estate will reach its full potential of producing more than 50,000 tons of sugar manually. Luanda McAllister, The Evening News.
Meanwhile, President Dr. Irfaan Ali addressed the nation yesterday on the occasion of the beginning of the 40-day sacred period of Lent, and has urged that Guyanese, particularly Christian devotees, utilize this period for reflection. He also urged that this period of Lent remind all persons of the importance of humility. Let's have a look.
Let this period of Lent be a period of renewal, a period in which we dig deep and we fix our brokenness, in which we support the building of a stronger society. Let this period of Lent remind us of the importance of humility. This is a period when you reflect, you would learn about the lessons of betrayal. You would learn of the lessons of sacrifice. You would learn of the lessons and teachings of Christ. Learn about the 40 days that he fasted in the desert to overcome the temptation of the devil. So as you celebrate and commit yourselves during this period of Lent to a period of fasting, a period of self-introspection, a period in which you dig deep to pull the undesirable aspects of your life out and to replace it with the teachings, the work, and the life of Christ. Let this period be truly a remarkable period of renewal, one in which you and your families and our society and our country would benefit from upliftment. I take this opportunity to wish you a Lent period that will allow you to derive the greatest satisfaction, blessings, and fulfillment, knowing that you will do your best during this period to uplift yourselves, our society, and our country.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Friday, February 16, 2024 at 22 hours 30 for 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the BERBICE River Bridge is expected to be closed at 8 hours 40 on Friday, February 16 for 1.5 hours.
Billboards celebrating Guyana's newest cricketing star unveiled in BERBICE, and Gold Cup spot would mean everything Sandyford. Details of these stories and more in the Sportscast, sponsored by McCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Come celebrate 1770 with us. It's a birthday. Yeah, celebrate 1770 with us. Yeah, it's our 17th anniversary, and we're celebrating in style by giving away $17 million in 17 days. Top up with $1,000 or more for a chance to be one of 17 lucky winners of $1 million. Don't miss your chance. Top up today. Digicel, 17 years of bringing you the best. Come celebrate 1770 with us. It's a birthday!
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
You can now call the Bureau of Statistics toll-free on 624-0962 or 624-0963 to verify that you were counted in the 2022 National Population and Housing Census. Our operational hours are from Monday to Friday between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. and Saturday to Sunday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Have a say in how your community and country develops by ensuring that you are counted. Remember, our toll-free numbers are 624-0962 and 624-0963. Visit the Bureau of Statistics website at www.statisticsguyana.gov.gy for a full list of other numbers being used by our representatives.